So I just adjusted the Z offset because I noticed it was in here. I'm like, look, you can see it's not squished together. This is the first layer. So I adjusted. I probably could go even more. I don't remember what the original number was, but I bumped it up about 5 or 6 times. It looks like it's a lot closer now. I don't want to go too much. But yeah, I mean, you can see where I gradually increased it. Because I look at it, I was like, oh, why am I seeing the bed in between the layer? So that's probably what caused my print to fail earlier. I mean, I could probably go... It's very slow to respond to. 1.29. And I don't think I would want to go any further than that. But we're going 0.01 at a time. So it's not a lot. It's kind of hard to tell if it made any difference at all. But it's kind of nuts that this thing failed like it did. I mean, that's like a lot. That was up in the back of the printer. You know, you see where it's on the boot where it says Elegoo. So this totally would have eventually broke the printer. I mean, that's why really you need to watch these things. Yeah, that was sitting up in there like that. And I guess if I hadn't had the sock on there, I probably would have been in even more trouble. And I've got a bunch of printers that have no damn sock on them. This one's got one, this one does not. This one I'm still working on. All those other printers over there don't have a sock. The Sunlu does. So basically this one here, I've got socks for it. I'll put a sock on it. And I just took it off actually because I was messing with it and it was actually broken really bad. But this printer here needs either a new thermistor or heat element or something because it keeps shutting down. Anyway, let's come over here and take a look at what we're doing. So I think, yeah, if it didn't have a sock on there, and then it sticks to the block, it sticks to the thermistor, you know, it sticks to all that. And then if you can't, you know, heat it back up, you know, you won't be able to get it off there without destroying it. And then you'll have to buy a hot end. So I knew better than to just try and print it again. When you have something like this happen, you need to find out why it happened. Something changed. You know, and maybe this hasn't changed at all. I never paid attention to the first layer like this because I never ever printed anything where it was that large or it was that obvious. But I do kind of recall, if you see like right here, there's space in between it. I do recall a lot of the prints actually being like that, and I didn't realize that was really a problem. But now that we have this going on, we can see for sure. So it looks like we might be in a little too far at this point. So I go back up to the 0.28. I don't think it's enough to make a difference. I'd have to go probably 0.27, but we'll just split the difference. Let's see. Well, it's almost done with the first layer, and then I don't know what the fan settings are, so that's another thing that could cause problems. Also, one of these supports probably came loose and derailed the whole print. I've seen that happen with these stupid tree supports. So I'm not using tree supports, I don't think, anymore. They seem to be an issue. Well, you can see the difference on our layer, though. Pretty obvious. There is so much to learn about 3D printing. I mean, like, really. Unless you just go buy a Bamboo Lab and, you know. Here's the thing. You buy a printer like that, you won't never know how to use anything else. You won't really understand how the thing works. You know, a lot of these other printers you buy, you're going to have to learn so much crap that, you know, you'll end up getting an education in the process. So, now this is a drawer for the Ender, and I couldn't find a file anywhere online that I wanted, and some guy made one and put his name on the front of it, or some kind of name. It said like Mayage or something. Like, I don't want that on there. So what I did was I went into the file and I used Tinkercad and I removed it. Niche. Yeah. So you take this square right here and you stretch it out and you drag it and you make it to where it's like small enough. So you see right here. So we can get rid of his name. I should have did the same thing in the inside too, because I don't want that there. I forgot about it. I don't want any of those dividers. But we'll just we'll print this and see if it even comes out. But the drawer itself, the housing, is printing on the sole hole in the house in PLA because I was having problems. Now this PETG is old. It's really old, and I don't think it's supposed to be flat black. I've had lots of kind of problems with it printing the way it's printing. And I have a huge roll of it, and I've got a couple of rolls of it, so I think the stuff's like 10 years old, and I've put it in the filament dryer and it didn't make no difference. I've tried it on a couple different printers. It prints flat black, and usually it means there's kind of some micro fractures when it's cooling, something like that. As you can see, it can have kind of a gloss to it, but print speed, temperature, you know, I don't know. I've tried all that. It still prints that color, and I don't mind the color, but it seems like the particular filament's a little touchy. So I don't mind printing this more than once, because this stuff here is not really. It's the Overture ETG. So we'll print this one. If we don't like it, I'll go in and I'll delete the other parts of the drawer. We have a little mark there. I think it's something fell off. So you see it is a little more glossy underneath because I think in the change in the print speed. But I'm not going to slow this thing down to print this, because I don't want to sit here and wait, 8 hours to print a drawer and find out it doesn't fit anyway. So I want one of these. I want this part here, and I don't even know. I'm not at the point where I design stuff, so I don't know how to do that. But I can modify files, and I can, you know, do stuff in Tinkercad. But what we're gonna do is, I already printed this. This didn't work out. This is I'm like, so the person that uploaded this onto printables, they uploaded both of the drawers in the same file, and you can't separate them. So they're too large to fit even on something like this. And you can't move them because they're tied together somehow. But anyway, this was supposed to go into here like this. And you have to remove that, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, I couldn't get it to fit anyway, so it was a kind of a moot point. So I was like, you know, I just want a regular drawer because I've already got all the other upgrades. I want the drawer to be the same on this one as it is on the other printers. So, nobody seems to have a file for this thing. So I'm hoping that they're all the same length. If they're not, then I'll have an idea, and then I can probably change all this other stuff. So, but they look like they're the same to me. In fact, I could take a tape measure and probably measure it. Hey, we got this thing right here. What's the... It is... Let's see. Just a hair over 12. Let's see what this one measures as. Yeah. So it's just a hair over 12 on this one. So, oh, and there's a little thing where the ribbon tucks underneath the bottom. So, yeah. And then put the cap back on here. I printed this cap because originally this had the old display, which screws onto the end here. I see some cool stuff where people put like a drawer inside of here. Little wrenches inside of the square tubing. It's pretty cool when you think about it, because it's actually pretty large. Anyway, this printer here, I'm not sure what I'm doing with it at this point. I got it to successfully do a print. Here is a print with that filament. And that was the end of the print. It kind of got gloss there. So the temperature, I played around with the temperature. It just kind of acts weird. But obviously it was hot, so it got a little glossier. And you print these like that. This is a different filament, but PETG. Same printer, same similar settings. So these are these will fit this, and I can either use whichever one I want, and they'll sit on here like that. And then you'll need you won't be able to use that extruder. You use the motor, and then you'll need a dual gear. So these are for dual gear. I think they're for dual gear. So there's 3 sizes to these type of extruders. There's plastic size, there's metal size, and there's dual size. So you see this one, you see how small it is. And then if you look over here, here's just a single gear metal one. And over here we have the dual. You see it's a lot larger. So when you're going to do a conversion like this, you need to figure out which bracket you got. This one here, see it's smaller. This is another metal one that comes with this. And in order for me to convert this one to this, I need to find a different type of bracket that's going to sit back further. What I would actually have to do is probably go into Tinkercad and try and manipulate this file, and that would be kind of hard to do. This one here, if I wanted to run one of those, same thing. I'd have to move it or, you know, do something with it. So it looks like we've got some issues here. So little stringing of the this is what this filament likes to do. I'm gonna go up some. Oh, that's down. Wait, Never mind. I think we might be too close up on it. But I noticed that this filament does that this randomly. So, unfortunately, this is our third layer. And I don't think I can do anything about it. I'm gonna be like having to deal with it. Still doing it. I don't know if maybe. What do we got going on here? It was just too fast. It's starting to change right there. This is not good. So I think what I might end up having to do is scrap this print and remove this filament. God, look at that. There's something wrong with this filament, is what I think it is. Because now it's back to pretty normal. So, I mean, maybe there's moisture in it. I don't know. Go up a little higher and see if it does it less. I think this is where I was at originally. I'd say it's worse. It's like I can hear it. It's like nasty. Boy. Well, we'll let it run its course for a minute before we do anything. I want to see if my change made any difference. Get an idea which direction I need to go. If it's not the filament, you know. Looks better. I might just have to slow the print speed to use this stuff. It was pretty nasty. I'm wondering if that's the final layer or what it's doing. I'm also printing with 100% infill. My temperature might also be too high. Or maybe it's not high enough. Let's go back out of here. Pause the print. I'm gonna get this stuff off of here. I'm gonna at least attempt to, you can see it's gonna do its crisscross, or at least attempt to trim it down. So ultimately I wasn't able to save the print, so what I decided to do was come in here, and I've taken this, so you take this negative square here, and you put it in here, and I'm hoping, it looks like I got to adjust this. Oh man. Okay. So right here, you see this, I've got to move this layer. And what actually looks like happened is the whole piece. Oh, I know what happened. See this right here? We can see we're in deep crap. I gotta redo this whole thing. So these objects here are what's going to remove this guy's name on here, and basically This whole entire thing here got moved on accident. So it's all completely off kilter. And this is why I don't like to have to remix anything. It's just really not fun. We can go through here and go backwards through it. And I'll just back out of all this. And we'll go back to the original file. And you can see what I did. Oop, forward. Okay. So with this right here like that, we shouldn't be able to see his name. I don't want the stuff in the inside. So the way that you get rid of that is you take this square, just go drag it over here. And it looks like it's the same height. Let me undo that. If I drag it over there appropriately, it will put itself where it needs to be. And then we can just basically come in and go like this, lengthwise. And you'll see these little dotted lines down here. This thing's acting funny. I wonder if I changed it on accident. So it's easy to rotate this thing right here, but this thing's kind of hard to work with. You got these different squares here, they all do different things. And if you drag the right one, usually you can get it to work. So we see the dotted lines, and we want to pull this just right to where they start to disappear. If we go too far, we'll go into the other thing. I'm going to leave it like that, just to be on the safe side. Nudge that one right up to it. And then bring it right there. So now we need to look at it and see, is that going to get rid of all of it? I wonder if this, so what I want to do, I want to go all the way to the top, just in case it's like leaving a mark of any kind. Okay. So see that, so now that's a gigantic square, and then we have a rectangular cover to get his name off of here. Now if we want to put a name on it, they say I want to put my own name, I can go over here to where it says text, and I can put the text in there just like I did that. So it's pretty cool. So I just learned how to do this not too long ago, but the first time I tried to do it, I couldn't figure it out. So now we go to export the STL file, and then it's saved. So now I'm going to go back up to Cura, and I'm going to clear my build plate. And then hopefully I can... it's going to make me... What happens when every time it does this... it won't let me upload a file, and I'll have to reset all my settings that I have over here, because now I've got to go usually to open new project. Let's see if we just open a file from here. Okay, so this is at 7:29 p.m. so it's definitely that one. Okay. What in the hell? it it does not look like it likes that. Okay. New project. Yes. Good Lord. Maybe something didn't work out right. Why is it showing up as a big block? Oh my goodness. The fun never ends. Yeah, I just hit a big block. Okay, so most likely what happened was I forgot to make it solid. And so let's okay, so all we did was we got this big block. So we got to go here. See that? It unhighlighted it all. And now we can export it. There's so many little things here that could go wrong, okay? And it's just nuts. But you just have to trust me that this is like gonna take a while to learn. You're not gonna figure this out overnight. New project. All right. Cool. See that? So now, all right. It's really hard. I wish that Cura would be a little bit better, because it almost looks like there's something there solid, but there's not. Okay, so now we actually cut our print time down quite a bit by not having to print that crap in the middle too. So I don't want a brim. I want a skirt, and I want support. I don't want trees. I want normal. I want everywhere, zigzag, and then I need to go and look at my print speeds 150, temperature 235, build plate 80. I think that's a little high, so we're gonna go 75 with it. Ooh, not 750. We don't want infill grid. I want cubic. Let's see. Shouldn't be 15% infill. I don't want 15%. I want 100. Okay. So when I had looked at this earlier, okay. Let me go into here. So we're 3 hours and 29 minutes. And we go to infill 100. It won't change that much because we're printing some thin stuff. Three hours and 53 minutes. I don't care. So now we save the file. I'm tired of this suffix it puts on the end of here. And I'll go and make sure we delete this old one so we don't get confused. So we should be good to go. These drives that come with these too, also, they're like all crap. They all seem to act funny. And always, oh, Windows needs to do this, Windows needs to do that. So we'll give this filament one more try because I need to use it. And alright, so I've gotten in the habit of like removing the files off of my thing now because what ends up happening, we can go in there, make sure. I ended up with so much stuff on there that I'm trying to figure out what's what, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, maybe that'll help somebody else, and you can laugh at my mistakes. Catch you guys later.